Hello and welcome to another episode of the Modern Maker Workroom. Today we're going to be stitching the side back seam of this doublet. Now we're going to do this in two parts, working our way out from the waistline seam. So we'll begin by matching the waistline seam very carefully. You'll see me pushing the needle through so that I can check to see that they're aligned. And then I'll begin my basting. Now, other than the alignment of the waist, this basting isn't any kind of mystery. We're just matching up the edges and working our way up. The one thing that we do have to consider though is that the back edge is slightly longer than the front, so we need to ease the back onto the front a little bit. So as I'm working, I'm adding just a tiny bit of fullness in the back by just shifting the layers ever so slightly, so that as my needle makes the stitches, I have a little bit of ease that's already incorporated. Once that's complete, I'll thread my needle up with a heavy top stitching weight thread, which is what I use for hand sewing, and then we'll begin to back stitch the seam. Now, many people fuss a lot over the size of their stitches, but when you're dealing with layers of fabric and thick linens and wools, the fabrics will sort of automatically regulate the size of stitch that you can comfortably do. And that's okay. There's no need to force it to be smaller than it naturally wants to be. It'll just take longer to sew the seam, and it might not actually be as strong. So as I get to the end, I'll take a few stitches in one place and tie off my thread, and then I'll come back and remove the basting stitches. Now we're working the lower portion of this seam going into the skirts. Again, we begin at the waist and work our way down. Now, if you recall in the last episode, my back skirt was slightly wide at the waistline, so you can see that extra width out at the top, so that then the top layer has to be angled out toward the hem so that I have the full width at the hem, which I don't want to lose. Once the basting is done, I will thread up a needle with some heavy top stitching thread, and I'll begin my back stitched seam. Again, there's no magic to this. The stitches will kind of be regulated by the thickness of the fabric and the strength of your fingers. It really is a synergy of the materials that creates the right stitch size. Now that the seam is complete, I am removing the basting, and once the basting is removed, then I can press the seam. Now I find that this is one of the more exciting parts of the process for me, because it's really the first time that the garment starts to pull together, because you're assembling the true construction seams. And you'll see that I'm using two different kinds of pressing items here. I've got a sleeve board, which I need because of all of the shaping. It really wouldn't do well to try to press this contoured and shaped object on a flat surface. But I also have this little wooden thing, which is called a clapper. And I'll use the top of it when I want to press something that's really narrow. It acts like a very skinny ironing board. And it's also very hard, which means that whatever you press on top of it, you get a very crisp press. But once that top area is done, then you saw that I overlapped the wool layers and then just took the iron and pressed the rest of the seam. The clapper comes in handy once again though, because I use it to cool off the seam as I work, and that helps to lock the pressing that I've just done in place. You know, fabric layers, when they're warm and damp, they might try to spring back, and you really don't want that to happen. So you bring in the clapper to squash them down and keep them where they need to be. So I've turned the garment so I can work the other half of the seam. And this is also important, turning the garment around. A lot of people will just try to like mash the iron through the narrow spot, and it doesn't really work so well. So to get a nice tidy press, make sure you turn the garment around on the ironing board. Our side back seams are complete, and now it's time to do the center back. Now I am beginning at the bottom here with my basting, and that's just because I'm really confident that I can match up my waistline seam across the center back. As I approach it though, I went ahead and matched everything and was extra careful, and then just proceeded the basting all the way up. You can see now how handy it is that I trimmed the wool seam allowance away from the padding so that I have room to work when I'm here stitching the seam and basting. Now that it's basted, I have threaded my needle up in some heavy stitching thread, my top stitching thread, and I'm stitching my seam. I'm using about a 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, a shy 3/8 of an inch seam allowance, because that's the the seam allowance size that goes with the size garment that I'm making. As I passed the waistline seam, I was very careful to make sure that I stitched right through, and I even stabbed a couple of stitches there so that I could make sure that I wasn't shifting it out of alignment. It's a nice long seam. It takes a little bit, so I've just jumped ahead with the video so that you can see it progress. Now that it's complete, I will remove my basting and press the seam allowance open. And again, it's very exciting in these particular steps because this is where the garment starts to come together. We've spent a lot of energy on preliminary steps and structural stitching and all of this very careful work, and we hadn't really had a garment yet that we could work with. So at this point, all of the vertical seams are sewn. Now in order to proceed, we're going to leave the shoulders open so that we can have the garment flat for putting in our linings and our various stiffenings. But this is actually the perfect time to do a quick fitting. Now presumably you made a toile out of your pattern early on and fitted on the mannequin or fitted on yourself. But this is the time where you can really have a look at how the finished layers are going to interact. So other than your lining, which isn't in yet, you can baste the shoulders closed, put it on your person, on yourself or your client, and have a fit. And you might need to pick out the side back seams. Don't try to alter anything at center back. That's not a good place to do the alteration. Side back is the best place for doing these alterations. But have a look, see if it works, and then we'll move on to the next video. Thank you for watching. I'm Matthew Nagy, and this has been the Modern Maker Workroom.